Yo, what's going on with you for the week?
My brother, how you doing, man? Welcome back. We back
Hey
again.
man, yeah.
Hey man. Let's start off. Okay, I didn't want to start off low. All right, but
hmm
I had to do this. We both march in the band. We both have to shout out to this brother. Shout out to Mr. Caleb Wilson. Rest in peace to this guy. He passed away um as a student of Southern University online for a fraternity, for Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He marched for the Human Jukebox. He was a trumpet player. He was a sophomore. Um, I mean, it's just sad, man. I mean, I kind of resonated with this because we marched in the band. We just kind of know the culture of just like that whole thing. Um, but yeah, man. Rest in peace, to his brother, man. What's your thoughts on him in this situation going on in Southern with kind of the HBCUs and the D9s?
So everybody has been given their think pieces. Like people have been sending condolences, right? And people are asking for justice and for things to become to get right. What's been rubbing me the wrong way is the think pieces on both sides of the ball on Twitter, right? The people that are using this to spew their hate for D9 on platforms, and the people that are using this to say, hey,
Mhm.
like, hey, this happened at Southern. This doesn't represent the entire organization, which I feel is true. This doesn't represent what you call it. This doesn't represent D9 as a whole. But people are using it to kind of defend themselves when rather like it's kind of
Mhm.
like being tone deaf to the situation on both sides. You know what I mean? And I think that like this is not the time or place to really be like
Yeah.
having banter about how you, I guess, necessarily feel about Greek life and people denouncing and renouncing their letters and things like that. And then even that, some people have been renouncing and denouncing letters
Mhm.
publicly, and people are saying, "Oh well, if you pledge publicly, there's nothing wrong with renouncing publicly." And there's also people on the other side of the ball like just leave the organization. You know what I mean? And it's like to a certain degree when things like this happen so tragically, when people's first defense is face card over like what's actually going on, I feel like that can be seen as insensitive.
Mhm. Yeah, I've definitely seen people use this situation to kind of talk about how they don't like the Greek life, whether it be not just about the situation, just like, oh, y'all are corny, based on the basic, oh, you're strolling in the club type stuff. That has nothing to do with this type of situation, and that does take away from this guy's, his specific life and his specific situation going through this type of situation. But what I will say is it does add fuel to the fire of those people who do lead these organizations to be like, see, this is what we say it was. This is what happens. What is bad about this is that maybe like 2 days after this came out, apparently they had. If you ever seen the movie Burning Sands, it was kind of like that in a sense. Like they were in a warehouse, they got passed out, somebody hit them, got passed out. They took them to the hospital, they dropped them off there. Their story was that um, they were in a line at a park. He just passed out. That was the story that they told the police or initially the hospital or something like that. And of course, that wasn't the case. It was a hazing incident, whatever. So this was used as by those people, and it does suck because you go, okay, this we all know that to join one of these organizations, you're gonna have to get hit, you're gonna have to get beat, you're gonna have to do whatever they go through, whatever, right? But as time goes on, and with so much more transparency, we talk about this with social media, it cannot go long. I'm telling you, this it won't be able to last, and unless there is a change of mindset when it comes to these organizations, because nobody wants to see their children go to college and join a group and they end up dying from it just because of the young, the rush of wanting to be a part of something. And we all get it, it's a part of it, but nobody wants to have a final, somebody's life to be taken away from that. And that's the sad thing. So these organizations are gonna have to get a balance in between. Yes, there are adults young and they felt that, but there are also children who they're gonna have to get that balance. Or honestly, these organizations, I'm not saying they can't last, but as social media, as time goes on with more transparency, it can't be as secret. It can't be like these things. It just can't be, especially if people are losing their lives. If people are not getting what they want out of it, then it's gonna have to change in some way. And it's sad that somebody's life has to be, what I'm saying, lost because of this. But I mean, we've seen this in like with band with the drum major at FAMU in 2011. Like that was a big shift in how bands operated and how the hazing aspect. So it's sad that these situations have to happen. But for these corporations, essentially these fraternities, they're incorporated. They have to be able to make changes in their business. You know what I'm saying? This is their business model. You can't have people dying on the job trying to join this thing. But yeah, man, sad man. Rest in peace to Caleb Wilson. I love the support that the band members from his high school and his college were giving him. Because now it's Mardi Gras time, so he was actually the dad, man, and the dad, bro. This is so sad, man. The dad is a Q. The dad is a police officer. The dad said when they went to his house, he had his uniform laid out on his bed to perform at the Mardi Gras. So, of course, during Mardi Gras, right, man. Of course, during Mardi Gras, there was a big outpouring in New Orleans. People had his picture or whatever. But yeah, man, it just sucks. And it's always weird to see where these type of situations go as far as those individuals. Like, does the organization get targeted? Does the actual kids there? Like, what do you think is going to happen from this?
Okay, I definitely think as far as like legally, like who's gonna get now I will say Southern I kind of been reading up on like comments and just things like that. Southern University has been catching some slack, but not an extreme amount. I think the organization as a whole is definitely the ones that's like here. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think more so what I was thinking about in 2011 with FAMU, I think FAMU as a whole caught more flack than the actual Marching 100. I want to say the actual band program. But I think in this situation, it's been more about the organization as a whole and not even really the chapter, because I don't think like I haven't been able to find any information as far as like their socials, or I think all of that has been taken down. I think depending on how long it takes to either erase the chapter or whatever legal actions is going to be taken, depending on how long that takes. And I want people to understand this too. The school can only say but so much. Like they like, because right now it's a legal situation. So you can't put out any information that's not public until trial happens and things like that. So I think that sometimes people want immediate answers, and that's just not the case legally. The same thing when it happens with like super serious stuff, sexual assault, things like that. Like anything legal, you can't speak on until the case is over with or closed. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, but I also think that the students are definitely probably going to go to jail, like 110%. You know what I'm saying? So there's that with that.
Man, that sucks, man. Just that, because we all have had that thing of like, you young and it's like, because these type of things are passed down. So when you go into a new thing, it's like you're just inheriting what has been taught. That's why like the organization is going to get a lot of things, because it's something that's been passed down in the organization. So he's just trying to, you're just young, you're trying to be a part of something. You look up to these guys, and that's in all situations where these type of things happen, right? Any fraternal things or band or whatever. It's just sad, man. It's sad that somebody so young and you just want to be a part of something that it'll make you put you in that situation, where you don't have no control over what's going on, But yeah, man, rest in peace to Caleb Wilson. And yeah, man, let's move on. Okay. I got to give it to you, bro. I got to give it to you, Mr. Democrat. You represent Democratic.
Here we go.
Bro, did y'all see the Congress, the Congress address, Trump's Congress address? First of all, I don't care what y'all say. Trump ate it down, bro. Trump ate it down, bro. Trump ate it down, man. And here's my thing, too. Here's what we have to get over. Our hate for Donald Trump, your hate for Donald Trump, can't be bigger than your love for America. And to me, that is where the Democrats are failing right now. They hate Donald Trump more than they love America. They want to see America fail because it's ran by Donald Trump, rather than to see America succeed because it's just where they at in the country that they love. So I watched this address, right? And because I just wanted to see, how it was going to be. I never really watched these before. And I actually had to go back and watch just to see how people acted, in the last administration was in the same way. So this was basically, an address to Congress. It's only been like a month or in a couple of weeks of Trump's administration, him telling them, what has been going on, yada, yada, yada. Okay. The Democrats, first of all, came in, and a lot of them were in pink for whatever reason. They were all wearing pink. Supposed to be in some type of solidarity to women, right? Cool. They start off. They have signs. They have like auctioneer signs, right? Like that say must steals. They're kind of coming at Trump as he's like speaking. So there's a disturbance. They're kind of going back and forth. A guy gets thrown out. His name is Al Green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think that this wasn't the best thing to do, but let's just say you did, right? You standing up against Trump. Here's why the Democratic Party is so weak. They they they're not strong, because if this guy is to represent, it's a what do they say? It's fascism. This administration.
Mm-hmm.
Then get up and leave with them. These people are doing silent protests against Trump when not actually doing anything for their base. They're not fueling their base. It's to me, it was kind of like childish how the Democrats act. Now, granted, Trump was able to bring in people that were like, he brought in Laken Riley. It was a girl, her family, it was a girl who was killed by migrants. He brought in a guy named DJ Daniels, who's a 13-year-old cancer survivor, right? Now, throughout this whole time, there was no reaction from the Democrats at all. And that's why I say, we talked about this during the election, the political game. Here's why Trump is the president. He plays the political game better than the Democrats. The Democrats play from their feelings. And this is why the Democrats need a masculine leader. And this is why Stephen A. Smith is surprisingly the front runner of the Democratic Party, which is wild to think, but it was wild to think Trump was going to be, So, but because they don't have, it's all emotion based. It's all women led, because they will stage like little signs and stuff like that, but they're not actually making any change. They're not actually standing up. So the big, response to this was that, they couldn't stand for this guy. They couldn't stand for this woman and her family. They couldn't stand for all these Americans, not Trump. Now we get it. They don't support Trump. Most of the minority party is not going to stand for the president if it's a majority.
Correct.
So we understand that, but they couldn't stand for Democratic. I mean, they can stand just for Americans, and I did not like that. I did not like that. As somebody who's been a lifelong Democrat, I've voted for Democrats for a long time. I thought it was weak. And to me, I don't see myself reflected in the Democratic Party, not because of their ideals, because of just the strength aspect of it. I think it's too emotional. What do you think about their response and everything that happened at Congress?
I'm not going to lie to you. I was going to act like I did. I ain't even watched the address. I didn't at all. I haven't. And one thing I always will say that I kind of like right now, politics are in your face to the point where you cannot avoid it. Like, I'm not gonna
because
lie,
of who? Because of who? Because of Trump. I'm telling y'all, man.
That's a fact.
I'm not even a big Trump guy, but you have to respect how this guy is moving. I watched the state of Congress. When have I ever watched that? Especially not with Biden. Nobody's gonna watch that. But what I did like is the fact that he was naming his W's, like playing the political game, the immigration, he was naming all like the transgender sports, all these things in the past 4 weeks that were parts of the campaign that I thought were good. Now here's the pushback I got on Trump, bro. You got to start moving to the economy, bro. This guy is tiptoeing away from the economy because now granted, that's something that the Democrats are bringing up. The prices are still high, inflation's still high. That was something that he said he was going to do on day one, hasn't done, right? But he's done all these other things. He's trying to push them in your face, bro. You got to get to the economy. People care about money more than anything, all right? Like we talked about last week. If Trump gives out these checks, then it's a wrap, all right? So you got to be able to affect. Yeah. He didn't talk about that. He didn't talk about that in his speech, even though Elon was there, even though he talked about all the waste that they brought. And Trump, bro, he knows how to bait you. That the Democrats fall. He knows. That's why they need a masculine man, because even a guy like Stephen A. Smith probably wouldn't fall for it as much as the Democrats do. This guy Trump stood up there and goes, the left would never clap for anything. He said, I could cure a disease. I could cure the most, and they still wouldn't, because basically kind of baiting them. And so now in their mind, they go, well, now we're not going to stand up. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to play them. And it just, he knows exactly what to do. And I think the Democratic Party is in a bad spot, truly. Not because of ideals, but because of just leadership. It's too emotional. It's too kiddie. And I'm excited to see where this goes. There was a CBS, by the way, poll that said 76% of the people that watched that said that they thought the country was going in a good direction. That's the best approval rating that the country's ever had, as far as people thinking that the country is moving in a better direction. So even if you don't believe what's going on, they have a way of being able to celebrate their wins, tell you their wins, and have everybody on the same page. And that's something that the Democratic Party is not doing. They're all over the place. Even after this, it was Democrats going, that was stupid. I'm like, well, if this your base, then you gotta rock with them. So now they have internal problems, and you can see it. And this is why they lost in such a drastic position. And people who are listening to this are gonna get mad because I'm talking, see, this is what you're too emotional, all right? The political game, who is winning? All right, like is it benefiting you or not? Get your emotions out of it. All right, my fault. What you got?
You had to go on the red. I respect it though. I really do respect it. Like you said, bring the emotions out of it. I was just having a conversation with somebody about that, and if you can't never see the good in something because you don't like somebody, like that's just like a thing of life. I think that I don't agree with that at all. Like even the evilest person on earth, we're gonna agree on something. The next thing I wanted to bring up is, did you see the girl that got beat up for not paying for her hair to get done by this 18-year-old hairdresser, right? Okay, let me address some things first. For one, the girl that's the hairdresser is 18. The client was 15, right? People forget sometimes, like that's as simple as senior in high school, sophomore in high school, right? So, and I think sometimes like when we become adults, we don't realize how close in age and proximity people are and like how often you interact. But on paper, it looks crazy, but like really in real time, that's what it is. Now, even if
also running off on somebody is crazy, bro. I'm like not trying to like. I've never stolen from somebody,
right?
Like straight up, like face to face. Like that's that's wild. I mean, you kind of got to get a fade just to teach you how life is. After that, you know what I'm saying? My fault. Keep going, bro.
No. Okay, so the basic thing is like, okay, of course she's considered a minor and she can go to jail and press charges, whatever. All these things can happen, right? At the same time, you also committed a crime, which is fraud and stealing. Like, what do you mean? So the guy sent the cash app, or her brother sent the cash app to himself or whatever. So either way, the girl is playing in her face. Then try to come back and be like, her mom like, oh, can you pay? Can she play you 2 weeks later? No, run the bread right now. Even if it is 150, you know what I'm saying? Like, now if the girl was like 22, even 21. I would have been like, all right, yeah, like that's extremely unreasonable. And at the time, it says in her booking bio, I found out that it said 18 plus clients only. So you chose the book, even though she didn't check your ID, you chose the book knowing it's supposed to be 18 plus anyway. So she probably assumed the girl was her age too. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, in a situation like that, how do you feel like it should have been handled? Because I've been seeing like, shit, she should have called her fade. At the same time, I also been seeing like, nah, that's not how you handle that situation. You press charges, whatever, da.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why you gotta catch the fade, because when it's somebody that you like, when it's black people will try to play you, bro, in your face, man. Like people that you like, you be like, and you can sense it. You can sense when there's some bullshit going on. You can sense, the cash out, all that. You can just sense when people broke. You can sense all that. And so to me, you gotta get that, because you can't be playing with people's face. I'm not about stealing at all. On the record, I'm not about stealing. But I have been a corporation stealing guy more than a person stealing guy. I don't get how I feel like if you steal something from somebody, you need your ass beat, because that's somebody's stuff. That's like if somebody gave you a service, and you know what I'm saying, like stuff like that is more like, it's more personal, because it's somebody's time and you're in their face. You booked with them. It's like, and just and this is a CDK line. We got to bring back shame. The shame of just walking around knowing that you owe somebody. It's like that shame. I don't know how people don't deal with that. You got to get a fade for that specifically, because if you treat people like that, then that's how you look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see no value in yourself, you don't see the value in other people's time. So you're not going to see it with yours. So you need your ass beat, because you need something physical. You need a black eye. I'm for real. You need something to let you know, hey, because otherwise, they're just gonna leave and be like, I got away, da. Even if they blast you on Facebook, that $150 is so much to them, and you gotta slam their head against the pavement to let them know that this $150. I know you don't got it, but this is worth it. You know what I'm saying?
It's the principle. I don't even think it's about the money. I think it's the principle that you think that this shit is sweet. And it's like, you think that you got to get off, and let me show you, you will never do this again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even about but I think that's what people talking about. Like, oh, you willing to catch charges over X amount of dollars, which when you put it that way as an adult, okay. But at the same time, on the principle level, it's like, bro, no, like, I don't even care. Like, it's not even about that. Because I'm big on that too. I'm really big on like the principle of situations, not even what the situation is at hand.
Yeah, and but as you get older, you started like let it go. You started to go, all right, $150 broke bitch. She ain't got no money. It's like you start to put all that in your mind. But when you 18,
Yeah.
you gotta slam somebody's head, man. So shout out to her, and I hope everything works out. Okay, so look, we talked about this a couple weeks ago with the trail rides, right?
Right.
And we talked about how there was a sect of in the trail rides where it's people that don't like the newcomers of it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Still in the black realm. But now we have a problem because black people, we have to start gatekeeping our own shit. All right. The trail ride culture is now being, I mean, whitewashed. Now, granted, it's white country, you know what I'm saying? That's a cross sector of it too, but just this specific thing. And we have to do better with gatekeeping our own shit. All right. Because now I saw them do boots on the ground on Good Morning America. I saw the white, I saw the white version of this. The CDK is holding up right now. Like that is ridiculous. Like, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't, you shouldn't be able to do it like to copy. You can do whatever you want. I'm saying we don't have a thing. It's like we don't own nothing. We're so happy with just having fun and being like, we're just so happy that we get happy when white people do mediocre versions of our shit. And I don't like that shit. Like, and because we don't look at just like how we talking about with the last story, like we don't look at ourselves as valuable enough to be able to know that, hey, this is our own shit. And I think that trail rides are getting gentrified. What do you think about it?
It's getting gentrified. Like, yo, TikTok makes everything popular. Like, and it's gonna get to the point where like nobody can have anything to themselves. We were talking about like the regional things. Like everything is gonna be for everybody, and it's gonna make it to where traveling. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say traveling, but nothing's gonna be special anymore. It takes this like the sauce out of everything. This is the thing though. I kind of feel like this about it. I don't like it either, right? I don't like when things are watered down and stuff like that. But it's like, what can you really do? Like, how can you really gatekeep? How can you, like you said, what we talked about earlier, nothing can be kept a secret or discreet because of social media and the transparency. Everybody has TikToks on how to learn to dance. Like, what can you really do to own it? And who would be the one owning it? Like the artist? Like, I don't know. How would that even work?
It's not about. I don't think it's about owning. It's more about like knowing that this is specifically our thing and us showing respect to that. So it's not necessarily when I say gatekeeping, it's just how we feel about ourselves to it. We will sell out our own shit because a white person is doing it. Like, if you want to make some money off of black people, just steal black people shit and they will clap on with you. So it's like we have to start looking at our own shit as valuable. Even though like the trail ride community, bro, people are going to come in this community and start having events with a lot more money than what these people have. You know what I'm saying? Like taking the culture. So that's what I'm talking about. It's us. When I say black gatekeeping, of course, we can't keep anything. It's the internet. Things happen like this. I'm talking about us respecting our own shit to where we go, hey, we're not gonna clap. We're not gonna like you doing it more than we love ourselves doing it.
Right, we're not gonna
acknowledge
that.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like even when like when white people do anything black related, go to a HBCU, the first thing we do, I mean, we seen it at ours, front and center. That's where we want to put you at. But when it comes to us on the other side, the energy is not reciprocated. I agree with that. I agree with that.
But that's what I'm saying. We can't look at other people to reciprocate. We have to go, this is our shit, and we fuck with it that much. Even if y'all do it, it's a watered down version of our shit. We have to look at our shit as being superior. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, everything is gonna get judged. But hey, it is what it is. All right, let's move on. We talk about on this podcast a lot to stop idolizing celebrities. All right, because celebrities are fucking lame. And this is a great example. I got two lame ass niggas that we have that people love and that we respect their art. Future and Anthony Edwards. Okay. I don't know if you saw the video, but Future's on the phone with some girl. Future's 41 years old, bro. 41 years old. arguing with the hoes, bro. At 41, bro. Like, and that's good for him, but I'm saying like, yo, we have to stop thinking that celebrities are cool because they have a lot of money. And they do good at art. Like, I just think that's corny, bro. And I don't think that's somebody that to look up to. And I'm not saying I'm the coolest guy ever, but I don't like how we idolize these celebrities, you know, to like unconsciously we follow what they do, what they say in the songs, and then their life doesn't even reflect that. Like this guy, Future's so cool or whatever, but you 41, you don't got your bitches in control. So what you saying is not true. So it's all fake. It's all an illusion. So I just don't fuck with that. What you think about the Future thing? Now move on to Ant.
Nah, yeah, I saw the whole gorgeous doll thing. And I think low key, my friend showed me like some of the clips of like how the story times went and stuff like that. And with a girl talking about he didn't know the girl, and yet he answered the phone call on first ring. Now I've been there before where you crash out over the hose, so I do understand that, right? But I do think it
But
gets to a
you
certain
want 41
age.
doing it,
Yeah,
CDK. You want
right.
41.
Even at 26 is like certain shit. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not. It's not that. And it's like I want to settle down and have kids. Like that's my goals and aspirations at this age of my life. But I do think when you have the fast life thrown at you and you can pretty much buy anybody you want, let's just call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. You move differently, right? And I think that money does not change who you are; it just amplifies who you truly are at your core values, right? And it gives you the ability to move around and change things because you know you don't necessarily need anybody. So, and you don't look at women as equals when you move like that. You know what I'm saying? So, I think it's corny. Right. You know what I'm saying? I agree with the same thing. But I also
you just set a bar right there. You just set a bar right there. You don't look at women as equal, and that's when you can and you know what? That's kind of the women's fault because they're so thirsty,
which will allow,
especially for a Future. So it's like they don't give him a chance to even respect him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like in that phone call, whatever, she's mad that he's not respecting her, but she doesn't. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't put herself out there as somebody to be respected. So it's just crazy. But I just see when those type of situations, you go, this dude's lame, bro. And I understand you have a you gotta keep your face up there because you're a rapper and your whole thing is fuck bitch da. But it's like, that's so whack. Next, Ant Edwards. This is more or less like, bro, you got to be able to keep your bro. When we talk about respecting women, you got to be able to fucking keep your dick to yourself, bro. I mean, I understand. It just I don't get nutting in a girl, bro. That you don't like. I understand it be fat, it's waving back. Oh, the bounce back is great. I understand that. But it's like I don't get how you could like be so enthralled in what's going on. Somebody who is you done fucked so many hoes, bro. Come on, man. You just trapped into where it's like you can't like you get so caught up and you can't fucking and now you arguing with this girl or whatever. It's like now you look crazy. So this is somebody that these are somebody, you know, people that we look up to because of what they do. But as a man, I can't respect you, bro. As a man, I can't respect you talking to your girl like this is a girl that you fucked. And now you saying, oh, I don't want to have a kid or whatever. It's like, bro, this is corny to me. This is not what a man does. It's not grown man shit. And it can't be because you was just so horny, bro. It's like you're a grown man. You can make a decision. So I just think both of these type of situations are corny. And this shows that, you know, when we look at celebrities, not only are they just human, but these niggas are lame. What you got?
Yo, I want to talk about this too, like when it comes to celebrity things. Explaining your and I think sometimes like celebrities get to the point where they have to explain themselves to not regular people because we're all regular people, and that's what we're kind of talking about. But explaining your finances to people who are broker than you is crazy. T-Pain, I saw one of the things that one of the people that I feel like is the most down to earth people that I've ever like encountered with. He showed a screenshot. People, I guess he was on American Airlines or whatever, and he was in first class. And people like, yo, T-Pain's on the plane with me. Like, why are you here? Now think about it like this: you're already put him on a pedestal because you don't believe that he should be in the same atmosphere as you. That's number one.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's not like he's a president or anything like that, like to where it would actually make sense, right? So he showed a screenshot of how much it would take to get from Atlanta to Vegas and back to Atlanta on a private jet, which was $126,000. $126,000. Now, mind you, if he goes broke by living up to a certain lifestyle that people feel like he should have, oh, T-Pain's broke, you running through all his money, but you get on a commercial flight, you fly first class, even the Bow Wow thing, people look at you a different way.
Yeah, which one is crazy it? It's so crazy that people do that, and people don't even realize that they be doing that when they talk to people. Like they don't like what you doing here with us, like with us peasants, with us poor folk. It's like, why the fuck are you cursing yourself like this? That's how they be talking. What you doing? It's like, bro, this is a regular person, and this goes back to our idolizing celebrities. Just because you see they're people as well, just because you see them on a flight, and that's the problem too. They be thinking like the celebrity goes, well, damn. Why am I on the flight with your ass? If you put me on the pedestal, right? And then they go, and then you say, then they spend money that they don't have, and then they go broke, and then now everybody's clowning you. And so this is why if you can elevate yourself to a high level in understanding in your art and society, you have to be able to have supreme confidence in yourself, despite what nobody says. Even if you are rich as hell and you go on a commercial flight, you got to be able, and people go, what the fuck is you doing up here? You got to go, these motherfuckers are them. You have to have that same confidence in yourself to not let anything shake you, because people will literally, with their own insecurities, try to pull you down. And they don't realize that they're doing it because they're like, wow, you're so great. But they really talking shit about you at the same time. Like, it's so odd, and people don't see that they're doing it. So what I would say is you got to have that confidence in yourself no matter who you're around or what you're doing. Just for the regular folk out there. Stop treating celebrities like they can't be in the same room with you or the same area with you. It's like, it's just so wild. Like, and this is my better days to come kind of, but it's going off of confidence. And people hate confidence, yo. Because Shador Sanders, you seen the now look, I've been following Shador since they went to Jackson State.
Yeah.
Right, big HBCU fan, right?
Right.
Bro, and I've said since then, this dude, I've been wanting him to leave Jackson State because I'm like, yo, this dude needs to go to the league. Like, he is great, real smart guy. He's not like a these current nigga quarterbacks that just run around. Like, he is like a Peyton Manning old school. You can tell his dad is in the Hall of Fame type, right? So he's going to the draft, bro. So many people have been talking about this guy, like, I mean, so much so like, oh, his draft stock is going down, whatever. And that just shows you that people hate confident black men. People hate confident black men, especially the old establishment, the old institutions, because they can't control it. And that goes back to what we said. You have to have supreme confidence in yourself, wherever, like literally, like in whatever you're doing, because not only, and you have to be able to not let people's detraction of that affect you. Because if it does, they're gonna pull you down to where they want you to go. And so I just shout out to Shador Sanders, because I've liked him and I think he's a good player. But you just see how the media can spin things, and just people's attachment to your, like, where they think you should be and where you actually are in your mind is hard. It's hard to deal with if you're that person. What do you think?
No, I think the same thing. Like, people hate. I was just having a conversation with a friend about this. Sometimes people feel like they have to humble you, and it's like, if you felt highly of yourself, you would feel enlightened. You would feel empowered by hearing other people's success, because it's like iron sharpens iron. But if you feel like you're not iron, you're not going to be sharp anything. You're going to get cut. So that was my better days ago, right? So I feel like in situations like that, I've gotten caught in the situation of like doubting myself, not necessarily doubting myself, but like when people are like, oh, you're a lot more humble than I would expect. You are a lot more when you're in spaces, you don't let your emotions do as much. Now, coming from a guy that used to goddamn pop it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I also feel like at the same time though, what's understood doesn't need to be explained. I'll live in that light now, where it's like, you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? If you don't know, you're gonna fuck around and find out. Like, I don't feel like I have to announce myself. So in that sense, I do think there's a balance in that. And I do think that Deion Sanders and Shador, they kind of play too much on the right side of that. But hey, I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing though.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad thing if you can deliver. Like, he delivered at Jackson State, he delivered at Colorado. And this isn't politics. Like, this is just, can you throw the ball? It's not like just because they're going to pay a lot of money. It's not like you got to be like this dude, if you follow Shador, he ain't like, he worse than, I mean, he ain't smoking, he ain't drinking, he ain't gambling, he's just an athlete. You don't want a pure athlete guy. He's probably just fucking a lot of hoes, but who is it?
It remind me of the Babyface in the Hill shit with wrestling. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like The Rock, when he comes back and be like, yeah, I am The Rock. I am the greatest to ever do this. I am this, that, and the third. Like, that's why people like, some people like dislike Jordan over LeBron, because of their approaches and how they move. Most of the time, when people talk about what they don't like about LeBron, especially with this all-star situation that just happened, they're talking about his arrogance and all of that. When Jordan was like one of the most arrogant people to walk this earth, as far as being a basketball player and a public figure, and LeBron took more of the humble approach, I think that's why people view their legacies differently. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think part of that goes into it is personality, mentality, and delivery as well.
But I'm telling you, with the quarterbacks though, I don't want to pull the race card. I don't want to throw the race card. All right, but I think I might have to, because they love an arrogant ass white boy quarterback. They love a Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's so cool. He's smoking a cigar in the back. They love that type of shit. But they love a Baker Mayfield who talks the most shit. They love what's the dude that Phillip Rivers, the nigga from the Chargers. They love he talks so much shit. They love that type of shit. But when he got chains on and shit like that, he's just a they ghetto. Don't like right. It's ghetto. It's just crazy to see. But as we've been talking about legacy media crumbling, the NBCs, the ABCs, like just the institutions, those things are gonna have to start changing because with the transparency of just media, you can't be able to spin a narrative like they could. And that's what, like going back to Shador, and we can close it out too. That's what made me feel bad for like all the old athletes back in the day, like a Deion Sanders, who had no other outlet but the media. Mm-hmm. I mean, whatever they said is what people believe. And that's what trains people's mindset. So thank God we have social media to where you can put your own narrative out there and people can see how you actually are. Like I watched their videos, Well Off Media, the son, Deion Sanders Jr. videos. So I kind of like know how his personality is. So if I didn't have that, I'll be like, well, yeah, he's a piece of just like NBC says, you know. So I'm glad that we can have these mediums to be able to talk, and so people can show their actual personality.
No, I agree. This is a great episode. This is it has real substance to it. This is a good one. You know
absolutely. We took you guys through ups and downs. On this one. Absolutely. We appreciate you guys listening to another episode of CDK Horatio. You can follow me on all social media at Horatio Radio.
You can follow me at CDK on the mic, man. Hit me up anytime.
Yes, sir. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys next week.